Here we go. Here's what we've had donated so far. When the account was set up as business and not creator, we got donated $31.25. I still haven't withdrawn that. I need to do that because that's enough for somebody to get a free notes. And then I switched it to creator once I hit 10,000, and now I've got 12,000 followers. But this has been the donations since then. I keep trying to click on it to show you, but this is a screenshot. So I figured out where that info was this week. So that's kind of cool. But anything that is donated for all this stuff, I will give away as free notes. See, there we go. And then, yeah, I just haven't set up how to withdraw any of that yet. I'll figure it out, but you can see how much I've gotten in, but nothing out. I'll figure it out one of these days. But yeah, that was when before. It had disappeared for a long time and it finally came back. So I was glad not to lose that. But that's super cool. Let's see what else is in here. Save a lot of hash. Cashmere, hello. I was just checking on that, and there was a course offering for $11,000. Oh my God. No, I teach for free here. Schools don't help much. Only very basic info. Stick with Jen. I am in $30,000 in student loans and I haven't. Oh no. Star. I bought an AAPC class and Hey guys. Sorry about that. Is everybody still there? Sorry, my kid unplugged the internet so he could plug up the Xbox to his computer desk. So that threw us all off the internet. Yeah. Yep. Threw us all off. I don't know. Let me see if I can get back to. I probably lost all that chat that y'all had on there about. I was answering Red's question about that TikTok that I made about the burns. So, Frozen. It usually does a countdown before it just stops. But just stop. That's weird. Okay. Okay. All right. Frozen, spinning dots, your burn question. I can't hear Jen. Yeah. There it goes again. Now it's rolling again. Okay. Nope. Picture. Yes, I am still buffering. I absolutely will go to Jen share the class. Anyone else buffering? Yes, always. For always, TT. Not a problem. Keep it up, yay. I was about to call my internet, Red said. Oh, no. It was my kid. He unplugged the internet so that he could use an extra extension cord thingy to plug up his Xbox. Sorry, I'm trying to think about where I'm at and what I was doing. So I was in the middle of that TikTok explanation. So I was on TikTok. There we go. And because the question down here had that 10% body surface, everybody thought that the answer was the 10%, the 11. But if you look at your ICD-10 codes, you're only under third degree burns. So the only percentage for third-degree burns in this question was 5%. So you were supposed to pick the 10 because that's the only 5% that was third-degree burns. And it was just, you grabbing that 10% and thinking that that was what the answer was. And it was supposed to be 5%. Anyway, that was interesting. Things like that they might ask you. But yeah, that's on TikTok. There's 2 videos, one with the question, one with the answer. Just like the hernia question right there. It's got 2. Yeah, it's a good question. It took me a while to figure that one out, why I was getting the wrong answer every time. And in fact, I think I have some early lives last year where I even said the answer was number 11 and moved on to the next question and didn't realize that 11 wasn't the answer. And so just beginning coding and beginning teaching this, I'm only human and got things wrong from time to time, some of those early lives especially. But I eventually figured it out, what I was doing wrong and why that one would be wrong. I'm just looking at the pictures to see if there's anything else that was of urgency to talk about. I'm trying to do more for risk and CPMA. So CRC and CPMA. I know a lot of people are taking those certifications now that they've got their CPC. So I did a live for just about 15 minutes, went over the study guide for CRC and did the first 5 questions with answers and how I would make the notes in my ICD-10 book for that particular exam, prepping it to be ready since the CRC is only in the diagnosis code book. That's the only reference material you need to take with you, I think, for CRC. So I started out with the very first page in the ICD-10 book and started putting some guideline questions with the answers down so that we would have those. So if you get your CPC and you decide you want to do CRC with it and have a double threat so you could get hired, there's a lot of groups and hospitals both want, and insurance plans want, risk adjusters. And this is the first 5 questions in the study guide. To validate HCC, you need 5 records. They had a vocabulary term for extrapolated. That means penalties will be imposed. So that's kind of cool. I just started out here, the first page, just like if I was doing for the CPC, where I put all the regulation and guidelines and laws, like what year did HIPAA go into effect and all that stuff that you might need to know for CPC. I put it in the very front of the CPT book, in front of the E&M pages. That's how I would handle the CRC certifications. So let me get some questions ready for tonight. I got all these brand new medicine questions. They looked so cool. Like I said, I've not done these before. I do have the correct answers and rationale, I hope, with these. But I just have not done them. All I did was copy, paste, throw them down. They looked really cool. They were in the medicine section, and I just wanted to do them. So we're going to do them together. So I'm just turning into my CPT book to the medicine section. But y'all ask away if you got other questions. Some of them looked really cool with the hydration and fancy immunizations, all that kind of stuff. Hey, Twinkle, how's it going? Twinkle is helping me out with some emails replies now so that I'm not so inept at getting back to people. I was going through the email account last night and this today, and I was like, oh, I've got these from June and May that I never did reply to. I wonder if I should send them to Twinkle. And I'm like, oh, I really hate to reply to them 3 months late. But hopefully they reached out in different formats, like on the Discord, and got their help that they needed. But I was really drowning and needed some help, so I appreciate Twinkle helping me out now. Let's see. You're welcome, Go Kart. That's what I caught myself saying during the exam after I answered the question. Move on. Yep, move on. I called my proctor's person for Saturday, and she stated it was paper. How would I get a copy of the most recent questions that were on the CPC exam that you put together? Better late than never. I guess so, but oh my gosh, I feel so bad. So on my website, to answer your question about what has been on the exam the last 45 days, you just go to my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com, and then you do the drop-down menu and you go to the shop. And in the shop, I do have that document in here for what's been on the exam the last 45 days. Every time I update it, you will get an update, even, a year from now or whatever after you pass your exam. Probably you'll still be getting emails. So when you do sign up for my website, be sure and put a valid email address in there, not an Apple ID or something. That way I can email you all the new updates. And these are what you will get with that purchase is, let me look this up real quick and bring it up. Let me see if I got it up here. A list of codes, vocabulary terms, questions, and answers. I probably don't have it up here, do I? Maybe I have it in my Word document. Things that were on the exam that people tell me. Some of it I'll go and find some practice exam questions like this that will go along with whatever word they told me, like sesamoid bone. I found a question with it, and then you'll get the answer. And some of it will be just list of things that you can take and go straight. See, here's that sesamoid bone again, but somebody also said tricho or segmentary, or Ma's surgery was on their exam, or this breast biopsy was on their exam. So some of it is just a word or a CPT code. Some of it will have practice exam questions with it. It just depends on what's going on. I did end it with some good explanations of some E&M questions that have been pretty difficult recently, like our 5 years and younger critical care, and then our adult critical care guidelines. So I always end it with some of my own little tidbits for you too. So there's our adults with an ICU tips and tricks and stuff like that. So super handy document. And since I don't make all of it myself, I use the money from those proceeds to give people free tutoring or free notes on that document, which we've already done a lot. We've done, I don't know, I gotta divide that and see how many hours that is. Let's see, divided by, we've given away 40 hours of free tutoring in the last 3 months. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. So let's get started with some practice questions. It's pretty on point, Dawn said. You'll see it. It's labeled what has been on the exam in the last 45 days. It's clear. I need to figure out, I've been trying for 3 days straight to figure out how to put collections on that website, like all the CPT code notes under one header, and then all the repeat workshops are under one bundle of clickable stuff. You know what I mean, like drop down menus, but I can't figure it out for the life of me. So I have to contact my website designer and see if he can't help me. I've been watching YouTube videos on the site and everything, but it just isn't working. Whatever all these tech gurus are telling me, it's not exactly what I need to know. They're just too vague about it. They're not detailed oriented enough to tell me, okay, click here, then you click there, and then you click there. They're not doing it all the way. They're just telling me in general how to do it, and that's not helpful. All right. So for this question, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go see if there's a header difference between my 5.0 and my 5.1. So let's go to 9.5. 9.5. So we're under allergy testing for that header for 5.0. My 5.1 is going to be under allergen immunotherapy. That's your first thing you need to look for. I'm not looking for what's underneath or what's at each CPT code descriptor first. I need to look for the major headers, and both of those are, one of them's they're both red, allergy testing, and then the other one is under the allergen immunotherapy. So I'm going to search the question first for those two descriptions first. Am I doing allergen immunotherapy treatment for allergic reactions, or am I testing a patient for allergy testing? Of course, I'm doing the allergy testing so I can get rid of the 5.1. Now we've got a difference between the 0.4 and the 44. So the 0.4 is through the skin, and then 44 is a patch or an application. So I do match up my percutaneous, so I know I can get rid of D. Now I just need to know, do I times it by 12 or do I do it all in one? My one issue with this one is that it doesn't say the word each, but it does say specify the number of tests. I really wish it would say each, because that's the consistency it says throughout the book, where if you're going to time something, if you're able to times it, you do each. I'm just looking at what y'all are talking about. Let's see. How do you ever memorize all this? You don't memorize none of it. You have all the notes in the books because it's an open book test, and you just learn these techniques about how to answer the questions. So like I said, we're going just to the major headers, not to the CPT code descriptors first. Each set of codes will have a header that they're under. So that 5.1 had a header of allergen immunotherapy. So I just matched up that we were doing a test, not immunotherapy. So testing goes underneath here. So I was able to get rid of that 5.1. And then the only other thing I looked up when I got it down to this header, that's the first time I'm going to look up my CPT code descriptor. This says through the skin. James, I swear I'm going to lock my door. What could you possibly need again now? This is a patch? Yes, love. What do you need?
Do you need like everything behind that cabinet, like all the cords behind it?
Why wouldn't I need all the cords behind the cabinet plugged up? You're still trying to find a plug-in?
No, well, yeah, because like I need one for my speaker because I don't have any sound.
Is it okay if I can use my other backpack tomorrow?
No. No. Why? You have one for this year. That one needs to be thrown away. It's old.
Mine doesn't have enough pockets.
It has plenty of pockets. It has plenty of pockets, baby, I promise. Let me go lock my door.
Do you think you can maybe look on Amazon and order me a JanSport?
That was a $60 backpack. Now you need a JanSport? I'll discuss it later, baby. Oh my God. Of course, 3 days into the school year, they want another backpack. They're not happy with their $50 backpack, and they have to tell me this right now in the middle of a live. Anyway, the door's locked. Sorry. Okay. Thanks, Annie, for telling her not to memorize anything. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I can't find it because it's all listed in different sections. Just keep clicking load more, load more. It's there. Hey, Jew Thread. She takes her exam tomorrow. Hey, PJ. I promise it's there. It's on the website. I mean, it just says load more, and then you can get another set of them. Is that it? No. There we go. This is it. What's been on the exam in the last 45 days? That's what it looks like. It's got the top 10 guidelines you should know listed as the cover picture for the exam. Then you can hit add to cart. It's probably way more than 20 pages, but it's a lot. I don't know how many pages it is now. But that's what it looks like. It's hard. I don't know why the header didn't show up when you're just looking through the pictures on the Android anyway. Like right there, you wouldn't know what that was. Ugh, I got to get my IT guy to help me fix this. Because, yeah, it's like, what is that? That's musculoskeletal notes. That's medicine section, the whole medicine section. That's ICD-10 for AIDS, HIV. That's female reproduction. None of them have headers. Oh, good Lord. But I don't know. If you change your look to desktop, it might look better. Yeah, there we go. If you change it to desktop, you get the headers. Then you'll know what everything is. Then you'll get exactly what it is. For some of it, anyway. Good Lord. You can tell I've been playing with it because half of it disappeared from the white background with the headers, and then this other part doesn't have the headers and it's blue background. I swear I've been trying to organize it and make it look easier or better, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I need help with that too. Oh. But yes, we are going to 12 this, and we are going to times this according to the rationale that we have here, although it doesn't say each. And of course, my notes in this area don't say that we can times it, because that's probably something I didn't notice when I was making up the notes, because I didn't have any practice exam questions in this area that I could work from. So because it doesn't say each, I didn't mark it as one that we could times. But I need to go back and update my notes to where y'all know that we can times this. Of course, my pen won't write, but yep. The notes just will get better and better from year to year as I learn everything. But yep, we're going to times these. Anytime it says specify the number of tests, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, but it's still confusing, and it's still nice to know and to see it that you can do a times. I do have this one times 3, and it is an allergy test, but it's the very last one. And then I didn't put that we could put times underneath each one of those CPT codes so that it was clear. So I'll make sure next year's done that way. I see now, Dawn. I'm like, girl, it's right there. Of course, it's not really right there. It's awful. What is this? Why is this there? Yeah, I see that now. Good gracious. It's not like I go to my site and see what y'all are seeing. Okay, why am I in the screen? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Good Lord. Now, when I'm in my site, it looks like I've got the headers with the pages so you know what they are. But see, and this says CPT notes. That's what I'm trying to do, is do everything under this. I've went in and labeled everything so it could be bundled under just the CPT notes or under that header, and then odds and ends or ICD-10 notes are all bundled together, and then all the repeat lives are all together, but it's still not displaying correctly. So I just got to get some help to fix all that, make it better. Yeah. Yep, y'all help me just as much as I help y'all. We're all in it together to try to get y'all through this, for sure. Okay. So these are all under 951s. Let's go see if the 20 and 30 are under a different header. Let's see, 951. Where are we at? The 20 and the 30. So is the 44, 45? Yep, everything's under the same header. They're all under allergen immunotherapy. So I don't have to worry about a different header with these, but it's good practice to look and make sure. So our differences on these between the 20 and the 30. Let's try that first. We've got stinging insects. And then my 20, I've got sticks and stuff. This is immunotherapy. Oh, these are the worst. And then our 44 is mixing and stuff. We're going to be mixing. They're more, the mama codes, the 20 and the 44 are the most important ones that we need to stay focused on, because those are the parent codes. That'll help us eliminate, because this code goes underneath the 20, and then the 45, of course, goes underneath that one. And that'll help us eliminate 2 answers right away. So let's see if we are under the 20 mama code or the 44 mama code. So we are doing immunotherapy for bee venom. Which one is immunotherapy? Of course, they're both immunotherapy. They're both allergen. Are they antigens? Are they both antigens? One's allergic extract, and one of them is an antigen. So I think we're under the 20 and the 30 and not under the 40 and the 45 mama code. And since we're only doing one type of insect, they're only saying bee venom, I think we're 30. What do you guys think? Y'all are thinking 40s? Professional services, provisions of antigen for allergen immunotherapy. The other one is for allergenic extract for allergen immunotherapy. Allergenic versus antigen. Allergenic versus antigen. Immunotherapy is for the treatment. Let's see, is there any other kind of descriptor for these that could help us? And we're doing dose vials under 44, where 20 we're doing just a single or injection. We're not doing vials. They're doing single dose and injection. That's your 20, where your 44 is a vial, which could hold 5 to 10 injections. So 20 is single dose injection. That's helpful, I think, anyway. Single dose. And then 44 is vial. I'm adding that to my notes because I didn't have that difference. 44 is single dose. Single dose, but it's in a vial. Single dose vials. Single dose vials. Under 45, we're doing an antigen stinging venom. Let's see. Let's look at our rationale. It says rationale describes the allergenic extract, single stinging venom. And if you look in the index, which is unhelpful for us, it tells us to go there. I hate that. I wish they did rationale based off the exam that we're getting it from, because that's so unhelpful because we don't index anything back here. We have to do mixing when we do 44 and 45. They're not doing any mixing. Also, on 20, the group or office or doctor is prescribing, where 44 is the supervision of prepping and provision and holding on to the meds. Like, I used to have a lot of patients would bring in their own vials, and we would use the 44 codes. And we never did do this. We didn't mix up and provide our own prescriptions and our own allergen vials to the patient. That would have been under the 20s. single injection, single dose vial. It's not being prepared and mixed together and put into a vial under 44. Just a single injection is done for the 20s. These are terrible. They are hard. That's why it's always good to write these examples down, that we would put allergen immunotherapy, single dose injection bee venom equals that code. And just label your 30 with that information. And the more examples that we find like this, the more we can have notes next to the codes, because we want to answer them the way that AAPC wants them answered. Is number 1, allergen single dose bee venom. All right. I got more, I think, somewhere around in here. Yep, I got more. So we know where we're at with the 20 and the 40 and the 45. Where's the 70? Is that under a different header? Nope. We are under a different mama code. So that's a mama code. This is a mama code, and this is another mama code. So we've added another another one. So we're preparing and providing. So we're mixing and stuff with the 65 also for an allergen immunotherapy. Also, it's an antigen. So the other one is an antigen. Specify the number of doses. And these are for arthropods. What kind of animal is an arthropod? What is an arthropod? Arthropod, is that? That's an insect, of course. Is that our scorpions? Spiders? Ooh, arachnophobia. So is that AR? I should have defined that last year, because I don't know what all my insects. I'm getting invertebrates, animals, yes, spiders, crustaceans, crust whatevers. I wonder if a scorpion would be involved in that. I don't know. Ugh. I hate bringing up anything on Google, because then I start itching. It's like that right there was like, nope, I don't need to look anymore. They got jointed limbs, cuticle made of whatever. Oh my. Ugh, ticks. Those kind of things. Nasty little boogers. Can't be timed. Let's see. What have we got? They're allergic to peanuts. So I don't think we're under the spiders, which is our 6, 5, and 70, right? Or we can probably get rid of that spiders, right? Because that's not a spider. So our 20, she said we could get rid of for some reason, right? Allergen extract. I do have 25 as a food allergy peanut, but 40 and 45 are the same thing. What are we doing today? We are doing antigen desensitization treatment. And we did 4 vials. Vials are going to be under our 44 and 45. So we get rid of 20. And we just have to figure out, are we mama or child here? 44. Well, they're both mama codes. At 44 as insect. $44? Is that food or insect? Preparation, single dose, antigens versus allergens, single dose vials. Specify the number of vials. That makes sense. Times 4. Y'all like B? Let's see. B is it. So we got antigen for immunotherapy, single dose vials, 4 vials. We are going to times 4 for immunotherapy and peanuts. Peanuts is 44. So I'm just writing peanuts, 4 vials underneath my 44 so that I have that down. 120 doesn't include preparation. No prep. 45 and 79 are stings, not peanuts. Correct. We see stinging. $79, probably. I don't see a 79, but close enough. Fidea says insects. 45 says insects. Stinging. Ah, 70. Yeah, the arthropods, the stinging. Oh, spiders. Oh yeah, I gotta write spiders by that. Or other arthropods. Yep, stinging. Spiders, ticks. Ooh. Ooh. What is our 95180? Rapid distance. I know. Look, per hour. That means insulin, penicillin. I'm severely allergic to penicillin, like anaphylactic shock in the hospital for 2 weeks. Bad. I did not want to go through, I don't even know if they could do rapid desensitization procedure, but that was way back in, I don't know, 6th grade, somewhere around there. So I don't even know if they could have done that back then or if they had the resources, but that's more medication desensitization. Some people are allergic to insulin when they are born, insulin type 1 diabetic, and they have to get them unallergic to it so that they can control their blood sugars. So those are for medication, the desensitization. Yeah, it's not clear and it needs more of a description. I wonder if my books, I have some insider view that I wonder if I have any 951s. Do I have any 951s in here? because that would be so handy. But not every book has every code in it every year. I wish it did. I could pay for access to all of them, I guess, because that would be handy dandy. Not in this book. 952 is my closest I could get. 950, 78, nothing. 95251, nope. Those are glucose monitoring or something or another. So every year AMA puts out these books on new or updated codes, and it's kind of cool, but man, I wish they would do it a one book every year on every code or something or another, because these are cool. Like if you look at this, the description of that CPT code goes on for days. It's just massive. And what we get in our CPT book is nothing compared to what we could be getting. Plus, they give you a clinical example of how it would be coded, and they give you rationale to go along with it. So you could end up with a lot, but you have to buy the AMA books for this stuff every year. And then some of them haven't been updated in forever. So that's where these things are, and these code, yeah. This CPT Insider, I have to buy the 2013 yearbook for that year to find the full descriptor for this CPT code. That's what this stuff is down here at the bottom, is another thing to purchase. And then they'll do another book for another set of codes that you might need the descriptor for. So then they did this set in 96 and 98. So I got to look up those. So anyway, that would be nice to have all the full descriptions of all the CPT codes instead of just a limited list. AMA website, Amazon. I buy them when I see that Amazon will ship them and send them to me for like, $6, $7, $8 and free shipping. I'll keep an eye on them and buy a couple of years every year so that I'll eventually get all these books. You can also go to the AMA website and purchase all of them you want from there, but Amazon's a really great place to find them super cheap, especially if they're older years, and get them shipped to you. It's exactly what I said. CPT Changers, the Insider View from AMA. That's it. Insider View, and I don't have the ISBN. It was covered up. Somebody had wrote on it, but I got it from Amazon. This one was $6. It's written by AMA. Pretty cool. Like I said, not every code is in every year's book. Every single section, every single code might be in a different year. You'll look and see when they were updated with those lovely little marks on the Insider View. We'll give you the date. This one says it was updated on 2002. So you need to go get that book for this one, the 2013 book for this set of codes, and then 96 for the other set of code books, just under that same header right here. That's 3 different books to buy. It's awful. But just for the CPC exam, you don't need to get that crazy for it. We just need to learn, and we'll write peanuts, dose vials, underneath that 44 code, and we'll know if we see it during the exam what AAPC wants. Make your employer buy you all these books when you need it. What are we getting into now? Oh, counseling. You're welcome. So confusing. I bet, Boxer Mom. I'm sorry. Boxer Mom, grab all your practice questions, everything from your course, all the reading, lectures, videos, just play them in the background. Any PDFs, you can have your PDFs read to you by your viewer. Your viewer, PDF viewer, will read PDFs to you. Just find the option to do that. And then when you're folding laundry, doing dishes, you can just have that read to you. And but the main thing you need from your course is just the practice questions. That's super helpful. Copy, save all of them into a Word document or something like that, and work those, because the main thing is you need to get really good at taking tests and exams, and you need to know the answers to any kind of question that might come up on the exam. So the crux of your course is to stay focused on the practice exam questions for every chapter, every review, every little part. So save that. Hey, Zany, got lots of nurses, clinical people that want to get into coding. First thing you do is get a hold of 2022's or 2023's probably. Wait till October. The 2023 books will be out for HitPix, ICD-10, and CPT. You'll need those three. You'll need to continue watching our lives. You'll need to purchase the AAPC practice exam questions for CPC. It's about $70-$80 for those. It's 150 questions. You'll get your new coding books, and I'll teach you how to update the books with all the answers that you need. And then you'll just practice those questions with me like this, and I'll show you how to take that exam and pass it from the exam point of view. You've got a lifetime to learn coding, and everything is different. There's not a course being taught right now that will be like in real life coding. Just the lingo and the vocabulary is needed to be learned, but other than that, the total process of coding a chart and submitting to a health plan is not done in any way, shape, or form like they teach you in any kind of college course or accredited course or even AAPC course. It's not done that way. You'll have to learn on the job, and that's okay. Don't worry about that. You just need to pass and get your certification, and I can teach you how to do that from the exam point of view. So we're going to go look up this 96040 code and see what header we're under, see if there's any rules or regulations I need to think about for this particular code. Make sure that it says each, that I can times it. If it says it's not one of those codes that you can't times, then you know your answer is A without even looking at the question, which is super handy dandy. Let's go look it up. Okay, I'm at 20. Where is 40? 40, there we go. 40 has a star beside it. Anybody know what the star means? Is that an indication of anything that I need to know about? It's got a fancy little star. Yes, we do see the word each. That means we can times. So if the CPT code descriptor has an each, then that means we can times it. I don't know why I keep grabbing this pen. It does not write. It's time to throw that one away. Are you going to be just as bad? Oh, gosh. Y'all can tell. I got to dip these things in some alcohol. All right. we can each that one. The one above it, the 20, does it have an each in it? I don't see it. Interesting. We do have some do nots. Do we have some do nots? Nope. The other one above did have some do nots, but this one doesn't. So that's the main important thing, is to check out for that. It does have the do nots, but it's written above them. So do not report for 15 minutes or less than for face-to-face. So we need to make sure of that. You can report it if we're 16 to 30. So that's important to know. Good job, guys. That's correct. That does mean telemedicine. They may ask you what any of those symbols mean, and everything's listed on the bottom of these pages. So just be aware of those. That is telemedicine. And we just need a I don't need to know their diagnosis. I don't need to know what frustrations or things they're going through. All I need from that question is time. And the less that you read from those questions, the less that you'll carry with you to the next question. As you're going through these during a long 4-hour exam, you want to avoid having to read as many words as possible because you'll get brain fatigue. So we just need to grab the time, which is down here at the bottom. And how many 30-minute times is there in an hour and a half? And how would we code that? Would that mean that this is 1 and then that this is 2 and that equals 3? Or do we code it this way, that this means 3? You got to know your differences on how you would code these. 1.5 has 3 30-minute times in it, of course. But do you code it like C, or do you code it like D? It does say each. It is D. If you were going to code it like you were going to code it to add and equal, where this one equals 1 and then this equals another number, it would have a comma in between it, and usually it would be like a 40 with a 41, just in case, like a parent and a child code. That would equal 1, and this one would be equal times 2, which would equal 3. But it would have a comma and it would be 2 different codes, if that makes sense. So this is correct, your D. Just the number and times it by 3 equals 3. Yes. That's even confusing to some. So beside this 40, we could write where I only have the each, but now we've got a thing where we could write an example, 1.5 hours equals 96040 times 3. Just having that down for you is super helpful during the exam, because just in case you have a question or your brain has completely forgotten what you're doing or knowing how to do things, you've got something there for reference. Because if they said it was 2 hours of counseling or whatever, you've got something to go by. Also, make sure there isn't anything. They could have written up here that they did 30 minutes of counseling with the patient and then an hour and a half with the family members or something. But up here, they might have written it out as 30 minutes, like the whole word, and not giving you a number. So AAPC can be pretty tricky by hiding half the time is written out in one way, and then the rest of the time down here is a number, and then you need to add those two together to get the total number of hours. So just skim the rest of it. Make sure they don't have anything hidden is all. caution you about. All right. So let's go check some headers. Our first one in numerical sequence is the 57909. We're going backwards. (90957). I got 4757. What header are we under? We're under end-stage renal disease. What about 60? Same header. 69, same header. Yep. And yep. We've got mamas. This is a mama code. So's our 60. And so is our 60. 9 is not a mama code. We have to look at 67, which is our mama. So don't forget to look at 67 for your 69, because it may hold some information that you need, because it's just divided up by ages as the child codes. Thank you, Twinkle. I was just wondering. So our differences between the mama codes is 57 is 12 to 19. Where's my? There we go. 12 to 19 years of age. And then 60 is 20 years older. So we've got 20. And then 69, we have to look at the mama code, which is the 67, which is younger than 2 years of age, less than 2. So the only thing I need from this question is the patient's age. I don't need to know that they're on dialysis, who they're seeing, when they're seeing it, none of that mess. All I need is a patient age, which will usually in that first line. So 18. So 18 was only, it's not our 60. It's not our 69 then either, is it? Our answer is only the 57, huh? And that's all you need to answer that question. How long will it take to get the last question I purchased? Oh, sorry, that's for Twinkle. I don't know what she's saying, but usually those purchased items are pretty quick on AAPC's website. But you see how all I got to take is 18-year-old with me, and then I can move on to my next question. I ain't got to read all that mess. Oh, how did we get 69? We got 69. How did we get 69? Oh, yeah, the patient's age. I forgot to look because the child went down to 2 years old, didn't it? 18 because of the 69. I did it wrong. Okay, that's right. 67 was mama, but then 69 went down to the right age. So we got the 20-year-old can get rid of, but this one is 18. That one is 18. And this one is 18. So the difference between our 57 and our 67 is what? What's the difference? 4 or more face-to-face visits or per day? Less than a full month. Did we do a full month? The patient was discharged on the 26th day within 25 days of the visits. So since they did less than a month, they were 5 days short of 30 days. Yep, we're going to get rid of the D. Then we got a bill for their 25 days. That's why it's the 69, is because we had to do the per day. Ugh. And then I just go over here to my 69 code, and I'm going to put 18 years times 25 days. 18 years old times 25 days equals our 90969 times 25, and add that underneath the CPT code descriptor so that when we see it, we'll know it next time. Yeah. Super. Bixby, leave me alone, Bixby. All right. Let's try this one. Let's go check out our headers on the 75 is our first one. Oops, sorry. Why are you not down here? Okay, 903. Backwards, 903. Ugh. All these out of code sequences all up in the way. All right, 903.75 is under rabies. We've got rabies. 84 is RHO negative. That's an RH shot for pregnancy. 89 is tetanus. And 96 is chickenpox, varicella. So we've got a bitten by a dog. I bet it's going to be the rabies. What do you think? Yep, we're doing rabies injections. And I think 75 is the only rabies shot. Yep. Rabies, globulin, sub-Q. They don't say how they gave it. What do you guys think? There's no counseling given. So I wonder why they didn't do a 71 instead of 72. I'm just curious, but I wonder why a 72. Is it because normally you give a 71 with it, but we've got 75 as B as our rabies injection. Not bad. I got another one. Don't worry when there are multiple or CPT codes or whatever coming up behind it. Don't worry about it. We're going to stick with similarities. We've got 2 that are 60, which are super helpful. And we've got 3 that are 906s and then 1 that's 907. So we might have different headers or something like that going on. What is our 90660? I'm curious about it because it's twice written down. 660 is influenza, and it's a live virus given. So did we do influenza live? We have influenza, a split virus. Transvalent 3. Let's go look and see. That does say transvalent. Does it say LAV? It says IIV3. What is our 58? It's got the IIV3, doesn't it? In the parentheses. I like our 58. What do you guys like? Our 907. I don't think there's any influenzas in the 907s, is there? 3.6. That's herpes, shingles vaccine. What do you guys think? Everybody saying A. Flu is appropriate age. We've got a diabetic. They're not telling us an age. All they told us was the transvalent part. Let's see what the answer is. Yes, A. A is it. That's good. All right. Here's another vaccine. So they're all under 907s. I see we got 2 that are 17 and then 2 that are 49. Let's go see what those differences are. 907, 17, 907, 17. Yellow fever, sub-Q. And what's our difference between the 749? Is unlisted vaccine, toxoid. I see yellow fever, so I'd probably keep the A and the C. And then we just need to know if counseling was done. Was counseling done or just an administration? Did they get counseling? No, I don't see any counseling, so I think A is the answer. What do you guys think? I love coding vaccines too. I did peds forever. Vaccines are my favorite. Pediarex was my go-to for my newborns. I love that vaccine. Less side effects. We did get A as our answer for this one. The only difference between the 60 administration fee and the 71 is whether they denoted that the doctor gave counseling about getting it and not getting it. And they would document that they did counseling if they did. All right, we've got 908s across the board. There's a couple of 4s. So those are my favorites versus the 3 and the 5. So 90847, 90847. I like pre-filled syringe vaccines too, because if you leave it in human hands to mix your child vaccines, they don't invert the bottles right. I hate multi-dose vials. I prefer not doing that because they don't invert properly. And then also checking your pediatrician's storage facility for their vaccines. Make sure that they have a temperature log on their vaccine refrigerator and that somebody is checking it twice a day for consistent temperature consistency. If they don't know anything about a temperature log or won't show you their vaccine refrigerator, and if they have their lunch packed in there with them, don't get any vaccines from them. And always try to ask for pre-filled syringes, especially on the influenza vaccines for your children. You don't want multi-dose vials for your children because people drawing them up are human and we all make mistakes. But pre-filled syringes are fantastic. At least you only have the manufacturer to deal with on that. Okay. 90847. 90847. Family psychotherapy. Conjoint. That means together with the patient. 50 minutes. Let's go see. We got 50 minutes with the family and the patient. I love it. I like the 4-7. Is it a single family or multi-family? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Perfect. Let's look. Let's see. I like 87 and 89 are the closest. 90887. 887. We've got interpretation of results of psychiatric and other examinations. Interesting. What are we doing today? Discusses the patient's health, long-term living arrangements. Does that sound like what we're doing in our 87? Interpretation and examination of results. Doesn't sound like that. What's our 89? Preparation of reports. Let's go back to our 82. Is environmental interpretation. What's our 75? Good gracious. 75. Individual psychotherapy, including biofeedback training. With his social agencies to assist locating employment and living arrangements. Nice. So we are looking for kind of our environmental intervention, maybe. What'd you think? With some agencies? We're not accommodating family. Yeah, you don't have to bill for the VFC vaccines. We didn't, so that was cool. I just kept a VFC log and sent it in to them every time I needed to reorder their vaccines. I also did all the training for the VFC vaccines. Super cool. Really nice, because some of the co-pays for some of the health insurance plans for vaccines would have been outrageous for parents to deal with. Also with coding vaccines, especially peds, you have to watch if the provider makes, because VFC means they have free vaccines that are given to them, and they can give them out to anybody, whether they have insurance or not or whatever. Normally we pick those for people that are on Medicare, Medicaid, or don't have insurance. But some of the providers will, and you have to have 2 different refrigerators for those. You keep the HMO private pay insurance vaccine separated from the VFC vaccines. But yeah, they'll pull from one to the other and not keep their lot numbers correct for which vaccines, and then they'll get audited, and lot numbers that were VFC are on HMO plans, charts, and oh gosh, and then they'll get kicked out of the VFC program. So yeah, be a whole nightmare if you don't have somebody organized. Thank you, Twinkle. Be as if a coworker reported it. Yep, they are. Or if, or for VFC, you can use VFC. I think, the health department is better educated a lot of times on the vaccines and the storage than your primary care physicians usually are, because they don't take the time. It's just a lot to know. And the health department has to regulate it and audit it and all that stuff. So don't ever think about not going to the health department for vaccines for your kids. They give you a better vaccine record log, a whole lot better. It's like a whole passport looking thing that's super fancy, and it's trackable meaning if you lose that vaccine card, any doctor's office anywhere can log on and see what your kid has had before they give you a bunch of vaccines, whereas some doctor's offices don't log them and report them to a national database or city database, or if you're like California, every single county has their own database for vaccines, but that county doesn't talk to this county, and it's the largest state in the United States, so it has multiple counties, and none of them speak to each other except for the health department one. So anyway, if you don't want your kid getting vaccines they already had or whatever, love the health department. They're great. That one is B. Our B vaccine is the environmental intervention. So this one says community, social agency, locating employment. Those are all living arrangements. All that should be written underneath here. It does have employer listed and agencies, but we could add community underneath that CPT code. Community, social agency, social. They do have agency, but we write social up above it. Locating employment. Locating employment and living arrangements. Right underneath that CPT code descriptor. Yep. All very good. All right, we got 3 that are the 908s and only 1 that's 907. It's close, but let's see. What's our 34? 90834 is psychotherapy, 45 minutes. Our 39 is under a different header. This is for crisis. Our other header for the other one is just plain psychotherapy, so we need to see if the patient's in crisis or not. I don't see anything. It says anything about crisis, right? So probably just our D. We got 45 minutes because that's the only one that's under psychotherapy main header that does not say crisis. You had 39 on your exam. That's cool to know, Annie. Our 39 is the crisis one. So just knowing that it's for crisis. Oh yeah, I gotta take the trash cans down. Is super helpful. Hopefully they had that term in the CPT code descriptor. I had an example in my book for the 34, not for 39. Let's see what our answer is. We do have 34 for ours. All right. We've got our 96156. It's down twice. Let's go see what that one's about. 961. Let's go see. Are we in the infusions or something? I think the 9/6s are like getting close to that area, at least. Nine 96156 is under the header of Health and Behavioral Assessment and Intervention. Any of these other ones under something else? 58 under the same one. 67 is under the same one. Okay, so we got different mama codes with our 56, our 58, and our 67 are all mama codes. Okay, let's see what's going on. How long are we doing? Session lasts 2 hours. That will home health behavioral assessment, health behavioral intervention. What are we doing? We're not doing intervention. And 67 is intervention. We're not doing intervention. So it's got to be 56. It has no each or time restriction on anything that I note. 56. Do I have any notes? It's just for an assessment. I think it's A. Because this is just to assess. It's not an intervention, and there is no time noted. And it does not say each. Let's see. We do have A. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll go for the night. I'll be back on Wednesday night for more questions in medicine. I've still got a ton more of these to go. 961 that I haven't even looked at yet. So we got a difference between the 116, 112, and then the 125 and 121. So I wonder if there's a heading difference on these. Don't know. 112. 112 is under behavioral screening. Ooh. So that's screening. The 16 is under a different heading. It's an evaluation or examination. 25 is on a different header. It's under an assessment. Whew. And then 21 is under the same one as the 16, which is the assessment. So it's probably a difference between those two, right? These codes are all over the place. Oh, crap. All right. Are we doing an examination, screening, or an assessment? We're administrating some studies for developmental milestones. It's developmental testing. Developmental is under R12, right? I'm seeing some developmental there. Yep. That's all there is. Just had to look for that header. Neuro, behavioral, neurocognitive, and behavioral or development testing. Very cool. Yes. Well, I got 2,000 likes on this one and 3 shares. Thank y'all so much for that. I hope this has been fun. I always like doing new questions with you guys because I learn a lot more doing that. And these are real fancy ones because we haven't covered a lot of these areas back here in the medicine section. It's such a hodgepodge of everything known to man. I still got some acupuncture ones coming up. I know I have some hydration IV stuff coming up with some push meds. But we'll get to those on Wednesday night. And I have tutoring in the morning with somebody. Who am I doing tutoring with? Do I know what you want to go over? It's Nicole. I get to see her in the morning. So hopefully she's ready and I know what we're going to go over. Yep, I do. She's a New Yorker. I'm from New York too. I was actually born in Rome, New York, even though I was raised in Mississippi, or Tennessee, so pretty cool. So we will have fun tomorrow morning. I'm around if y'all need me. You can email me. Twinkle's helping me. Y'all can please join our Discord group. You find lots of information in there. And I will work on my website too. I'm just inept at building websites and knowing what I'm doing on that. But I will work on that so that the documents look a whole lot better for you guys. So you know what the heck you're trying to order there, because that's interesting. But for just one person not knowing what they're doing, I think it's pretty good. But yep, I got to work on that store. So whatever I'm doing, it's not working right to make it look right. Please don't forget about the social media links is how you would find the Discord app. If you just wanted to get on the Discord for our study group, it's all free. And then the CPT book prep room, I got to log on to get into that. It is super cool. It'll show you pictures of my notes. And then when you click on the picture, it'll give you an explanation of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how to make your notes look like my notes so that they'll be ready for your medical coding exam. I'll do this again, same time on Wednesday. We will be back here for another 2 hours. So bring your questions with you and I will answer as many as I can get to. No worries. Happy to help out. I hope this helps. And you got your exam online tomorrow. You go get you some rest. Close them books and don't worry about none of this till tomorrow. You got your spacing on your camera so you know where to put it and all that stuff. Hopefully, you're going to want to be sure and have it like set up behind your ear is your camera. I put mine on a stack of books inside of a cup. And they're going to want to do a 360 view of your room. Don't have any pets in there. Have the door closed. And they're going to want to see the side of your face with your keyboard and your screen and your books on your table all at once. So that's why they want it placed there. So just so you know. Start trying to log on for your exam at least 30 minutes early ahead of time. And you'll get to a part where it says enter in a password or something. That's where you just wait for your proctor to log on. If you have any trouble, it's a good thing. You've got AAPC open tomorrow, so you can always call and email them and let them know you're having trouble. But don't worry. You should do good. Thank you, Twinkle. My part 2 of my online exam. Last time I ran out of time. This time you had extra time. That's my girl. Good job. That's awesome. Both times I took the exam, I had 30 minutes extra, 25, somewhere around there on both parts. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to go back and look at them. I'm just done. So that's good. Yes, be sure and turn off your pop blocker, and don't be surprised that they're going to have you do Control-Alt-Delete and show you what processes are running on your computer during your visit with them, but that's all perfectly normal. Don't worry. Best of luck tomorrow, and I hope to hear all about it. And I will add, Annie, that CPT code of that mental health one that you told me about onto our what's been on that exam last 45 days. Maybe that'll help somebody. The crisis one. You can only log on 15 minutes early. Well, I started 30 minutes early looking for the email, going to my AAPC site, then to the Blackboard, to the Examity. I don't know. It was a big, huge deal back in 2019. So I don't know what it is now, but I was still started my first online exam an hour and a half late, even though I tried to log on 30 minutes early. So anyway, just saying, go for it. No worries. Anytime, Annie. Whatever you remember. Take your time. I know you got to decompress. That is such an exam that you really have to recover from. It was even worse when it was 5.5 hours long, but you still have to recover from that exam. It's a lot. Okay. Perfect. All right, guys. I will see y'all on Wednesday night. Again, I hope this is helpful. Good night, guys.